It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. These are the words that open one of the most powerful novels ever written, A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. A story of love, sacrifice, justice, and revenge, set during one of the most violent periods in human history, the French Revolution. This is not just a novel, it's a mirror held up to humanity, and it all takes place between two cities, London and Paris. It begins in 1775. A message arrives by coach, recalled to life. What does that mean? It means Dr. Alexandre Manette, a brilliant physician, has just been released after 18 years of wrongful imprisonment in the Bastille. He's been buried alive, not literally, but mentally and emotionally. He's broken, confused, a ghost of a man. His daughter, Lucy Manette, travels to Paris to bring him home to London, a daughter who believed her father was dead. Their reunion is quiet, tragic, healing. Lucy's love slowly begins to restore him, but the shadow of the Bastille never fully leaves him. The impact of his past continues to linger in their lives, shaping their journey forward. As they strive to rebuild their lives, the specter of the past remains ever present. Yet, through love and resilience, they begin to understand that healing is a journey, not a destination. Together they begin to rewrite their story, one of redemption and reconciliation. In their hearts, they nurture the belief that love can conquer even the darkest of pasts. As they embrace the future, they find strength not only in their bond, but in the love that surrounds them. Yet, even amidst the joy, the echoes of the revolution remind them that change comes at a cost. Dr. Manette rises to become a beacon of hope, symbolizing the resilience of the human spirit in the face of adversity. In their hearts, they know that their story is intertwined with the fate of their nation, filled with both promise and peril. Meanwhile, in Paris, the revolution explodes. The people, crushed for generations under the boots of kings and nobles, rise in rage. The Bastille is stormed, heads roll, blood runs in the gutters. One of the most unforgettable figures is Madame Defarge, knitting the names of aristocrats to be executed. She doesn't forget, she doesn't forgive. And she's watching Charles Darnay, because his family's crimes have not been erased by kindness. Darnay returns to Paris to help a former servant, a good act that becomes a fatal mistake. He's arrested as an enemy of the Republic. His arrest signals the dangers that lurk in a time of upheaval, where every act of kindness may lead to dire consequences. In the heart of the turmoil, Darnay's fate hangs in the balance as he faces the wrath of a populace seeking justice. Madame Defarge's unyielding presence looms large, symbolizing the unforgiving nature of vengeance and the collective fury of the revolution. As the gavel falls, the revolutionary court decides the fate of Charles Darnay, each echo heavy with the weight of retribution and justice. The verdict delivers a heavy blow, leaving Darnay trapped in a web of consequences woven by the revolution's ruthless hand. In solitude, Darnay confronts the reality of his situation, while outside, the fervor of the revolution reaches a fever pitch, hungry for retribution. Madame Defarge embodies the relentless spirit of the revolution, her knitting a metaphor for the tightly woven fate awaiting those who once oppressed the people. As the night deepens, Charles Darnay is led to his final destiny, the echoes of the revolution ringing in his ears, a stark reminder of the price of history. In those final moments, Darnay confronts the truth of the revolution, the line between justice and vengeance blurred in the chaos of a nation reborn. With the blade poised for action, the revolution reaches its apex, embodying the tumultuous spirit of an age where every life hangs by a thread. Back in London, Lucy meets two men, both of whom fall in love with her. One is Charles Darnay, a French aristocrat with a guilty conscience. He's kind, noble, and determined to break away from his cruel family's legacy. The other is Sidney Carton, a brilliant but disillusioned English lawyer, a drunk, a cynic, but with a spark of something hidden beneath the surface. Carton sees himself as worthless. Darnay is everything Carton wishes he could be. But both love Lucy. She chooses Darnay. And though Carton says nothing, he makes a silent vow. For her, and for those she loves, I would give my life, if it would bring her peace. In the beautiful park, Lucy enjoys the company of Charles Darnay, their laughter filling the air with warmth. Meanwhile, Sydney Carton watches from afar, feeling the weight of his unspoken feelings and the ache of unfulfilled desires. As Lucy and Darnay share a romantic dinner, their smiles and toasts celebrate the hope of a bright future. In contrast, Sydney Carton sits alone in a shadowy tavern, his heart heavy with thoughts of love unreturned, pondering the life he wishes he could claim. The day of their wedding arrives, where Lucy shines brightly in her white gown, surrounded by the joy of loved ones as she marries Charles Darnay. Meanwhile, Sydney Carton observes from afar, his heart aching with unexpressed feelings as he silently wishes them well despite his own pain. In their cozy living room, Lucy and Darnay revel in each other's company, their laughter echoing in the warm glow of candlelight. Outside, Sydney Carton lingers, his gaze reflecting a deep yearning as he watches the love he cannot claim. On a rainy day, Lucy gazes out of the window, reflecting on her joyous life with Darnay, her heart full of hope. Meanwhile, Sydney Carton sits in solitude within his office, burdened by the shadows of his own despair and Lucy follows Charles to Paris, terrified. Dr. Manette, now a hero of the revolution, tries to help. But fate is cruel. Darnay is sentenced to die by guillotine. And now, Sydney Carton steps into the light. The man who once said he was worthless sees a chance to become everything he never was. He visits Darnay in prison. They look alike, almost like twins. In the quiet of the cell, Carton knocks Darnay unconscious, swaps clothes with him, and takes his place. Darnay escapes with Lucy and their daughter. Carton? He stays. In his final moments, Sydney Carton finds peace in his decision, knowing that his sacrifice ensures a future for Lucy and her family. In the face of death, he reflects on his life, understanding that true worth is measured by the love and sacrifices one makes for others. As the blade falls, Sydney Carton's sacrifice resonates, echoing through the hearts of those he leaves behind, forever changing the course of their lives. In the aftermath, Lucy and Darnay carry on, forever touched by the selflessness of a man who chose to give everything for their happiness. Though the memories of Sydney Carton linger, Lucy and Darnay find strength in each other, vowing to honor his sacrifice through love and resilience. In their hearts, they carry the essence of Carton, whose bravery transformed despair into hope, reminding them always of the power of love and redemption. As years pass, Lucy and Darnay dedicate their lives to helping others, inspired by Carton's selfless act, ensuring his legacy will never be forgotten. Through love, hope, and kindness, Lucy passes down the lessons learned from Carton, ensuring that his spirit lives on in every act of compassion. The city flourishes, a testament to the sacrifices made for freedom, as Lucy and Darnay embrace the future, forever inspired by the courage of a man who believed in love above all. In the quiet moments under the Parisian stars, Lucy and Darnay remember Sydney Carton, celebrating the life he gave and the profound... As the cart rolls toward the guillotine, Sydney Carton stands tall, not as a drunk, not as a failure, but as a man reborn through sacrifice. He looks into the eyes of another doomed prisoner. She whispers, "You are brave, sir. God bless you." And he speaks, not aloud, but to himself, the words that end the novel and echo through time. "It is a far, far better thing that I do than I have ever done. It is a far, far better rest that I go to than I have ever known." This is a tale of two cities, not just about revolution, but about love and the kind of sacrifice that lives forever. Follow for more timeless stories. The streets of Paris are alive with the fervor of revolution, echoing the cries for justice. Amidst the turmoil, Sydney's act of sacrifice represents more than just a personal choice. It reflects the deepest sense of humanity. In his final moments, he connects with another soul, reminding us that even in dark times, love can shine through. As history unfolds, the legacy of his courage becomes a beacon for generations to come. As the sun sets over Paris, it marks the conclusion of one chapter and the hopeful promise of another. Sydney Carton's story reminds us that true bravery extends beyond the individual, sparking revolutions of love and change. This tale, penned by Charles Dickens, intertwines fate and free will, illustrating the profound impact of choice. Carrying these lessons forward, we are inspired to reflect on our own capacity for sacrifice and compassion. In this moment of reflection, people from all walks of life come together, sharing the words that resonate across time. A Tale of Two Cities serves not merely as a narrative, but as a powerful reminder of our shared humanity. Every candle lit symbolizes hope, encouraging us to carry forward the spirit of sacrifice that Sydney Carton embodied. His legacy ignites a flame within us all, urging us to embrace love, courage, and compassion in our own lives.